Hey, Adam Savage here in my cave with another one-day build, and this build is a tool modification build. Now, I know that I'm wearing different headgear than you're used to me wearing. I got a care package recently from the shop of Tom Sachs. Thank you, Tom. Hello, sir. I hope you are doing well in whatever bunker you are currently in. I thought I'd wear it in solidarity because I miss my friends and I'd like to see them, and this feels like a little bit of a connection. At any rate, the tool mod that I want to do today is on my table saw there. I've got a lovely Powermatic table saw, and it's been with me for 20 years, and it has performed admirably. But it's got a thing that I don't like. Let me show you. I'll explain here. The hand wheels. There's a hand wheel there and a hand wheel there. This one is for raising the height of the blade, and this one is for changing the angle of the blade, so you can make angle cuts. Both of these hand wheels are slightly problematic for me because they are plastic. Everything else about this table saw is beefy AF, and I really dig that about it. But the hand wheels are bullshit, frankly. And the one for adjusting the angle is actually split in the middle, so when you use it, you can kind of sometimes get a pinch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the front hand wheel, this one, and swap it for that one, and then I'm tossing that one out. So what am I going to do for my front hand wheel? This is an operation, adjusting the height of my table saw blade, that I do dozens of times per day. I'm going to put in a bigger hand wheel. In fact, I recently picked up this beautiful cast iron hand wheel on eBay for, I think, like 12 bucks. It is a big old rusty piece of garbage. To somebody, it is nothing but pure treasure to me. I am going to make this my adjustment for the height of my blade. I think that the added weight and the nice big handle will make it a really positive operation. It'll just feel great. Plus, it's a little bit bigger. No, it's pretty much exactly the same size. So no mechanical advantage. And in order to actually fit this on there, I'm going to need to, this was originally put in place with a roll pin. I'm going to need to tap out that hole, put a set screw in there, and probably make a little bushing to adjust for the size between the internal diameter of this hand wheel and the external diameter of the shaft that comes out of my table saw. I'm not positive about that, but it's probable. Let's just say it's unlikely for a shaft to match a random hand wheel. You never know, but in my experience, not very likely. All right, let's get some B-roll, and then we'll get started with the build. So the issue that I'm having is with this hand wheel. This is the hand wheel for adjusting the height of the blade. And when I move it up and down, I adjust the height of the blade. This is the hand wheel for adjusting the angle of the blade, how far it leans out to up to 45 degrees. But this hand wheel has this little split. Here, look at this. Look at that right there. Now I could glue that, but it just makes me mad. And I would just like to swap out this hand wheel for this hand wheel. So I get this handle over here, and then I'll swap out this beauty for that one. All right, first and foremost, I need to get this thing off of here. It actually looks like the shaft might be the same size as my original. Okay, so let's see. I've got looks like a set screw in there. I've got to find an Allen that fits it. Let's randomly try this one. Let's see what we get. Nope, too small. Get two bigger sizes. Oh, close. There we go. If I could have a superpower in the shop, it would be to always be able to pull out the right Allen wrench at any given moment. All right, so that. Okay, I gotta tell you, the idea that you could have a hand wheel attached to a machine for 20 some odd years, never remove it, and then boop, undo a set screw, and it pops right off. That just, for me, that speaks to good engineering at the factory. All right, let's pull this one, and we'll do the, oh yeah, so I'm adjusting the angle of the blade right now. Okay, so this one comes off. There's not a second one, is there? No, there isn't. All right. Nah, I spoke too soon. The first one came off really easy. Second one, totally not easy. Let's get this. Is that moving? It is. I'll have to square this table saw up when I'm done. I need better prying. Now it's loose. All right, here we go. Just a little bit of persuasion. Oh, look at you. You've been munged. No, you haven't. Oh, all right. But, yeah, okay. So, see, this is something I don't like. Here is the handle for this hand wheel is a riveted shaft that's just pressed on the other end, mushroomed over to fit. It's not a mechanically serviceable part. Come on, you guys can do better than that. And that's what was pinching my hand, that little adjusting the angle. It's like I resisted adjusting the angle because it hurt. All right, so let's get this in. And then we can, all right. Oi. Yep, good. Oh, beautiful. Okay, let's just make sure 0 is 0. So, oh, right, in order to do that, I need to raise the hand wheel all the way up. Okay, that's gonna have to wait until the end of this. Now, it's time to find out if, no, this is the one going away. Let's see what we got for size here. Oh, how about that? This one is smaller than this one. Wow, I'm gonna have to bore this out. Terrifying. Let's take a look and see what we can do. Let's figure out our accurate diameters here. These measurements I'm taking are the interior diameter, or ID, of each of these hand wheels. So I'm going to use a telescoping gauge to measure the interior diameter of this hole. This is the original hand wheel. And a telescoping gauge is a gauge with little convex ends, and it's spring loaded, but you spring it in and you can lock it. So here's how you measure the internal diameter of a thing. You unlock it and get it in the hole. Then you put it slightly off angle and lock it a little bit, and then you lever it up. So now what you've done is you've forced the telescoping ends in a little bit to match the ID. And as long as you kind of go around and make sure you're feeling the diameter of the hole, no burrs or anything, this should give you a pretty good average of the exact ID. So let's see here what we got. What do we get? Look at that, 0.755. That is exactly 5 thousandths over. And if you look at this one, what you'll see is it's got this little sort of steel tube in there, and that steel tube looks to be almost precisely the diameter that we want. So what I've got to do is I've got to push this out of the wheel. All right, so what I've got here is a 3/4 inch Deming bit. And what I know is that that's 3/4 of an inch in diameter. So if I suck that in here, put something soft up here to not ruin my drill bit and hit it with a mallet, I might be able to get movement on that bushing. Let's give it a shot. Yep, we got movement. Yeah, look at that. That is great. I didn't have to hurt my drill bit at all. So I'm going to keep on going, see how far I can get it. Dude, that's working magnificently. I think I can still go. Oh, no. No, I can't go farther because I have to stand this up. That's what I say. I've got an inch of a standoff here using some bits of plywood I had. Got my original protector. Ladies and germs, I think, yep, come on, come on. You can come out. I always think, no, just save 1 second over here. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. You should just have a little bit of patience and know that, yeah, that was it. That was all it took, and I wasn't willing to do it. All right. Just want to do a little test fit here. See if this actually goes on. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm going to get one of my reamers and just give it a little bit of a internal polish there. And then the next step is I'm going to do a ream, and then I'm going to thread for a little set screw. I have a bin of set screws here. Let's see. It's going to fit. What is this? Is this quarter 20? That doesn't look like. Is that quarter 24? All right, that is a quarter 20, and I think this is also, it's a little big. Oh, look at these little baby ones here. 3/8 by quarter 20. Now, this is an interesting little challenge because I might not be able to get my tap wrench all the way up to this. I'll demonstrate. All right. So I've got a quarter 20 tap here, and I've got my quarter 20 tap wrench, and I put them together. So there's that relationship. And I want to tap this hole, but I have this problem. You see that problem? My tap wrench won't spin. I have a solution to this problem. It's a cool one. Let me give you a close-up so you can see. I actually came across this problem a few years ago, and I was looking at my taps, and I was thinking, well, there are tap extenders, but then I thought, does anyone make a long tap? And so I did a search on Amazon for long tap quarter 20, and lo, look at what I found. Yeah, that solves my problem in one piece of equipment. I'm going to use the long tap. However, I'm going to make sure it's a number 7 hole, which is the drill size for a quarter 20 tap. I actually have labeled some of the more common sizes, and one of the most common sizes I use is a drill for a quarter 20 tap. So I put a little yellow tape on there so I know that I'm getting exactly what I want. I know where to find it. Stay there. Yep, almost exactly the number 7. So now we're going to tap this puppy. Chuck it into my tap wrench. Get a little cutting oil on there. By the way, this isn't just a long tap. It's a long spiral point tap, which means it's even better than a simple long tap. Spiral point is a kind of tap that actually pushes the threads that you're cutting. When you're cutting the threads, you're peeling metal out with each tooth of the tap, and the spiral point pushes that excess metal you're cutting out ahead of you. So it allows you to tap a bit faster because the tap has its own kind of chip breaker, or it's not a chip breaker, but it's a chip direction modifier. How's that? Oh man, you can really feel how you can feel the spring flex of the hardened steel tap when you're tapping a long tap. It's It's a real education in moving metal. This is great. That is beautiful. This mod is going exactly as quickly as I hoped it would. Great. Oh, right. I wanted to ream it out. All right. Now this reamer I've got is actually chucked. It's actually not a 3/4 inch reamer. So it's not a 0.750 reamer. It's actually a 0.751 reamer. It's 1/1000th over the internal diameter. So this is really meant for doing things like interference fits. Ah, great. Doesn't look like I peeled up much metal at all, but I did feel some initial resistance, and then I overcame that initial resistance. My eBay Find hand wheel has a reamed out hole, a tapped out set screw, and the correct internal diameter. Why do I always cut my head off in these shots? Let's put it in the table saw. Oh. I know. Why am I replacing a nice looking hand wheel with one that looks like it was stolen off like an abandoned Navy ship? Well, look, maybe I just like that kind of aesthetic. All right. That is great. There we go. All right, the hand wheel is in. Let's try it out. That's great. I like it. I like the way it feels. Okay, but now I have adjusted the angle on my table saw. And here's the thing about table saws. This gauge right here, this angle gauge right here, it's not that accurate. Here, wait, I'm going to show you. So here's the thing about the angle gauge on the table saw. You see the 0 there? It goes all the way up to 45. And look, what is the sight picture on that 0? Where is 0? Is it here? Is it here? You see what I'm saying? You can never really trust the 0.0 of a table saw. Every time you adjust the angle and you bring it back to 0, you should do what I'm about to do, which is re-level the blade. But first, we're going to unplug the table saw. Okay, table saw is unplugged. We're going to confirm. Yep, no operation. So then we're going to raise the blade up as high as we can go. Let's try this. And then we're going to go get a square. Let's see. This is a good one. You should not drop your squares. That's a bad practice. So I'm going to use this little machinist square. All right, I'm going to set this up so you can see it. Nope, not quite. Oh. That feels like it. That looks good. That is a properly leveled blade or zeroed out blade. Yeah, the set screws are tight. The blade is back in. Oh, there's one more. Yeah. I just want to do one more thing. Just to finish this out. Oh, there we go. I was feeding something through the table saw recently and got caught right here, right there at the end. So I'm going to just zip that up just a little bit. These are adjustments for this is 0 kerf. Yeah, great. there you have it. I have moderately improved one of my old tools with just a little bit of elbow grease with a lovely eBay find. And let me tell you that if you search machine handle or hand wheel on eBay or Craigslist, you can sometimes find some absolutely magnificent pieces to augment the tools that you use and give them better gription, better feel, better hand feel. And when you have better hand feel, you have better control. And when you have better control, you make better things. That's just straight up the business, in my opinion. I love these little kinds of mods. They make me very, very happy. They feel productive for a reasonable output of labor. Thank you guys for joining me in my cave on this one-day build. Stay safe. I'll see you guys when this is all over. Bye.